Hey everybody, Rock Mixer here, and today I want to show you a really great plugin. It's called Robot Dog Drums, and it's not your average drum plugin. Yeah, there's a lot of great drum plugins out there, but this one is pretty unique and special, and I'm going to just tell you a little bit about it before I walk you through it. It's made by a guy, his name is Ryan Cohn. I had a nice Zoom conversation with him, and I'll probably insert some of that later on in the video. But I want to tell you that the guy who created this, Ryan, is an amazing engineer. He's a passionate recording engineer, gearhead, geeky guy who loves this stuff. And the story behind this plugin is he had this beautiful space that he's been recording bands in for many years, and he had to leave the space. So he started sampling all his drums. He had a ton of different drums, and friends gave him different drums to sample. And when the pandemic came, he decided that he's going to learn how to code and write this plugin. Behold, we have, in my opinion, one of the best rock drum and other genres. This could be good for metal, funk, jazz. There's a ton of drums in here, and they're all sampled really, really meticulously. Multi-level velocities, a lot of great features, but yet it's super simple. He made a great simple interface. If you look at this plugin, it doesn't look like anything else. When you open up the plugin, this is what you see. And let me just, here's the kick drum, snare, go through the toms, whoops. And the thing that I really love about this plugin, besides how great these samples sound, are the cymbals. Because, a lot of times you don't really get good sounding cymbals, and listen to these and how long they go. Listen to this splash. Sounds like a splash. I love that. And then you got your ride, you got your bell, you have your side stick, you have your flam, and you'll have your hi-hats. And he even adds, you have a cowbell, whatever you call that thing, sticks, hand claps, they're there for you if you want them, okay? Tambourine, that's what they call that. So the other thing you'll notice about this interface is that when you first come to it, you're in the kit mode, and like I just took you through the drums, but you have this character knob. And this is really cool because when it's all the way to the right, it's pretty much fully mixed and ready to go right in your song. So you don't have to do anything to it at this point. I mean, you still can, but you don't have to because it just sounds great. Now, if you want to tweak it yourself, you can go all the way back to unmixed mode, and you'll hear it sounds a little different, unprocessed, but still sounds really good. These are raw samples. All right? And then you can go somewhere, anywhere you want in the middle. All right? Now, here's the other cool thing. You have this little button here called the punch button. So if I take this all the way out and turn off the punch button, these are totally raw samples now. And you can process them any way you want. You can send these through a multi-out and have the kick come out on one track, the snare on another. Yes, you can do that. I'll show you that in a minute. But the punch knob, the punch button, that adds a little bit more, well, let's say punch, but really what it's doing is I think it's bringing out the transients, make it a little more snap, When you load up the presets that he gives you, he has it at a setting that is a good start, but you can always change it to what you want and what you need. These are all the presets that he has. You have alternative metal, you have basement punk, big pop punk, clean fusion, dry funk, hardcore grind, heavy shoegaze, indie pop rock, post-hardcore, and roots rock. So let's go to roots rock and just hear the difference. And you'll notice each preset, the drums will change. All right, so, you know, and just to give you an idea, here's Big Pop Punk. Try to say that 3 times fast. Oh, here's another cool thing in the interface. Let's go back to alternative metal, which is what we start at. So if I click on this snare drum, all right, I can change this to any drum I want, but obviously that's the snare drum. But here, I can pick, I can pick all these different drums, all these snare drums. So check these out. These are a lot of great snare drums. He's even got like a piccolo maple. All right, and if I want to go back to my stock setup, I just go back to the preset, and I'm back. So that's the Tama Bronze 8x14, great sounding snare. But all these snares in here, and all the drums in general, again, are from his collection and his friends that are like magical sounding drums that are tuned meticulously, recorded meticulously. If you're to buy one drum plugin this year for your recordings, this is the one, because it gives you the most versatility and greatest sounds. It's really that good. You could also use this to trigger drums that you already recorded. So if you recorded live drums, these are great kick and snares to add to your sound. Now, let me let you hear. I did a little ditty. I did a little recording. I'll let you hear what this kit sounds like with some guitars, bass, and drums. Take a listen to this. Amazing. Let me let you hear that same thing. I'm going to mute the guitars and bass. Listen how good these drums sound. And again, this is the alternative metal kit, and I just want you to hear. They're pretty wild. This is in Cubase. This will work with any DAW. One thing I want to point out is listen to when I go to the hi-hat open. Okay, when I open up the hi-hat, it's at the perfect opening setting. Like a lot of times these plugins, the hi-hat is way open and it doesn't sizzle right. Listen to this. That sounds like a real drummer playing to me. You know, and you could obviously go in and for instance, inside of Cubase, we have something called the drum editor, okay? And like here's the hi-hat right here, and I can just go and adjust the velocities. I can randomize and make the velocities different for each one. But, you know, you can get as crazy with it as you want to. All right, so now let's take a look at the mixer. The mixer is really cool. You click on mixer right here, and it's very clean and very easy to understand. The other thing that I really love about this mixer over all the other plugins that I've used, and this is really super important, and listen to what I'm going to tell you right now. So a lot of times in the other plugins, the crashes and the overhead cymbals will be just on a stereo track called overheads. With this plugin, you can go in and adjust the volumes, the pans, and the reverb to every crash. Really great. I love that. Same thing with the cowbell, tambourine, and sticks. So you have complete control. You can, once you're in full mix mode with the character knob, you could just adjust your volumes, send how much reverb you want to a drum. Listen to this. Here's your first tom, right? Now if I want to give it a little more reverb, I mean that's overkill, but you can totally do it. Right? And the other thing that I like about this is that I can pan my drums any way I want. So I can put my left tom there, I could put my second tom right up the middle, and a lot of times, you know, do something like that. Let's see how that sounds. Hear that? Goes all the way around the drum kit. All right. Another cool thing. Here's the snare drum. Here's my room. Ready? So you have a separate volume for how much room sound you want to give. But check this out. So here's what it sounds like normally. And I can just bring that up. And look how much more room I have there. Bring it back a little. Then over here in the master section, you have this tape button, and it emulates a warmer sound. You have an overall compression for the stereo output, saturation. Okay, you have a bleed knob that you can turn on, and you know the mics will bleed. So let's see what that's like. So now they're bleeding more. It's kind of cool. You can do some neat stuff with that. Let's try the saturation. Cool. Let's try the compression. All right, let's turn the tape on and off. The things that I like about this is they're subtle. It's not overwhelming, and they really add character to the sound. Ryan has really thought this plugin out, and I am going to be personally using this on all my upcoming tracks. I'm very impressed with it. The drums, again, the samples are amazing, and you have so many to choose from. The other thing that you can do here is you can go to multi-out. Okay, so you can, if you go to multi-out, you can send these drums. Well, I have to set it up in my workstation accordingly, but you can send these drums to, you know, set up more tracks and send them to multi-out. So you could have the kick on one, snare on other, and then you could add separate EQ and effects and however you want to do it. And that's also really versatile. Let's go to setup here. So in setup, this is where all the MIDI notes are and everything, you know, it's telling you where everything is. Now, what's cool too is you can hit the learn button and learn, you know, press a key on your keyboard or your controller, and it'll learn that button, and then, you know, 1, 2, 3, you're using that controller. But when I play these, I play this with my keyboard, and, you know, it's set up perfectly. The other thing is the presets of this are set up for a Roland drum kit. And from what I understand, according to Ryan, it just works perfectly with a Roland drum kit as well. Then you have E-kit positioning, positional sensing. It gets you can get deep with this. You can turn this on and you can start really getting deep with this. Auto foot splash is another option. And I love this. I love the fact that he's put these features in and you can go in and really tweak it. I don't think for me I'm going to have to do that, but it's there if you want it. The other cool thing is the grooves button. So he gives you basic grooves to start with. Nothing, you know, it's not like where you're overwhelmed with thousands of different beats that are going to work or not work. He just gives you like the initial, like, check this out. All right, now if I want to add ghost notes to that, I just hit the ghost note button. How cool is that? All right, and I can just take this and drag it out to my DAW, right? And now I can go into my drum editor or my, I have several different editors on Cubase, but I can go into my drum editor, which I love. All right, and you will see, like if I select this, you'll see the different velocities are already there. It does it for you, but I can modify this to whatever I want to the song, like to the bass or keyboards or whatever. But let's say I want to give it another kick drum there. I can do, whoops, there we go. And I could do it over here as well. And I can do something like, let's try that. And then I can give it another snare drum there. And if I want to flam it, put in another snare drum, take it out of grid mode, and I can just drag that over like that. Check this out. So it's, I'll make it even tighter. See? So you could really get crazy with this, and a lot of the, you have all different kinds of grooves. He has stuff like this. Nice 16th notes on the hi-hat, and you could change that to the ride. You could change it to a floor tom. Add ghost notes. Now here's something cool. He has this little button here for crash in. So if you hit that, you get the crash right at the beginning. But listen how good this, right now I've only shown you really the metal kit, and listen how great it sounds. Right? All right, let's, here we got like a, I guess this is like a Folsom Prison Blues kind of beat. Let's hear it. Kinda. All right, let's take a listen to eighth note triplet groove. Go to ride. Let's put some ghost notes in it. And again, these are just to start you out. These are just to get you going, and then you can go in and edit them however you want. Let's do a flam fill. Very cool. Let's do a triplet fill. And I love the way he programmed the velocities on these for you. All right. Now, I'm going to get out of this drum editor. Let's go back to the song, and I'm going to let you hear a couple of drums. I mean, that's basically the whole plugin. It's as easy as that. This is the Basement Punk kit. All right. This is the Big Pop Punk kit, which I think I did play you before. Love the snare on this one. And the hi-hat. And the kick. All right, we got the Clean Fusion. That's nice. Now we could go into this, and let's say that's too much reverb for you. We could tone down the reverb just by going to the master. Listen. Nice. Give it a little bit. Is the hi-hat too loud for you? No problem. Let's pull it down. Let's give it a little bleed. And this would be great if you're doing some jazzy type tracks, or, I mean, anything. You could use it on reggae. So this is going to be for your funk, your R&B, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Kit looks like this. Oh, yeah. Really cool. Really cool. And let's go check out Hardcore Grind. It's got a nice big room sound on that one. On the snare, especially. Hear that? That's cool. All right, Hardcore Grind. This is Heavy Shoegaze. Or is this Shoegaze? I don't even... Ryan, how do you pronounce that? Is that Shoegaze or Shoegaze? I don't know. Oh, wow. I love that snare. That's like big. Indie pop rock. Here we go. Yeah, man. And you know what's cool? You see, I'm adjusting the character knob to my liking. I'm just using my ears to listen to see what I like. And I don't have to go full. I can bring it over here. And it's kind of like, I guess it's a parallel mix bus knob, you know? So over here is totally unmixed and natural. And now I'm bringing in what Ryan did to make, you know, the compression, the EQ, to, you know, to make this drum kit sound more polished. And I don't have to go all the way. And that's what another thing I really love about this. Okay, let's check out the post-hardcore. Yep, really nice. The simplicity of this plugin is incredible. Really well thought out. Roots rock. Okay, so this is more of a basic rock kit sound. Let's take a listen. Again, so don't let say, oh, this sounds a lot, you know, duller or something. Yeah, it is, but don't forget that you can send these through your own outputs, right? And you can, once you send it to separate outputs, you can process these drums any way you want and get them sounding the way you want for your mix. So don't forget that. Okay, let's go back up to alternative metal. And I just want to show you, so let's say I love the way this sounds, this kit, right? But I'm not thrilled with the snare. So again, I can go over here and I can pick a different snare. So let's say I want that snare. Let's take a listen. All right, let's try one different one. Here's an 8x14. Oh yeah. Again, you can get very creative with this. All right, so now let's talk to Ryan about the plugin a little bit.
Yeah, well, it started when I found out that I was losing my studio space that I'd had for about 7 years.
Okay.
And I'd done a ton of drum recordings there. And, you know, I'd really perfected the sound that I like to get there in that space. And so I decided to make some drum samples to take with me. And then I was like, you know, I'm gonna offer them to people. I think these are sounding cool. People might like them. I started making just kind of dreaming up the interface as it is. And it was deep in COVID lockdown time. So I had plenty of time to go over coding tutorials and stuff. And little by little, I just learned to do one thing in Contact scripting language, and just learned to do another and put it all together. And it honestly wasn't long before it was looking and sounding pretty much like it is now. And that was the 80% of the project that took 20% of the time. Okay. And then the final 20% of it took the next 2 years to finish up, and now it's here.
All right, everybody, I really appreciate you watching this video. And again, if you are looking for a really great drum plugin that gives you a ton of versatility and a ton of options, but yet simple to use, Robot Dog Drums Rock should be on your list. I think it's like $119 and it's worth every penny. So go check it out at robotdogdrums.com. If you have any questions, you could reach out to Ryan, tell him I sent you over there, Rock Mixer. And again, thank you for watching this video, and I would really appreciate you subscribing to my channel and commenting below and letting me know what you think. Hope this video helped you, and we'll see you the next time. Take care.